Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so first I'd like to introduce myself. So hello, I'm Jason Farrell. I go to St. Augusta. I'm a junior, and so my partners and I, this is Emilio, and our other partner Sebastian. He couldn't make it today, but we decided to do a project on the California burrito because it interested us. Because food's cool, it's fun, everybody likes food, and I think the California burrito down here in Southern California, specifically San Diego, has had fairly a large effect on the culture, on American and Mexican food, and we wanted to learn more about it. So here.
Cool.
Alrighty. So the first question is, how long have you been in the food business, or
Yeah, I've been writing about food now for 20 years, actually. 20 years.
Awesome. And what about the food industry first interested you? And how did you base a career around this?
Yeah, I mean, what interested me originally about writing about food was that, hey, I get free food, I buy the meal, I keep the receipt. Best, and then on top of that, I get paid to do that. It's like it's the best job in the world, totally. But then as I kept doing more and more of it, I discovered that food writing was a way to tell the stories, just different stories about everything, about immigration, about history, about meals, also just it was a way to help out people, especially a lot of these small restaurants. They don't have millions of dollars behind them. It's literally a family who has put all of their money and dreams into this one institution, one place. So if I could write something that would help them out and transform them, and it's happened many, many times, like that made me happy. I rarely wrote bad food reviews, not because I didn't think I couldn't or because I don't think some people should be knocked down, but I'd rather tell you where to go eat. I'd rather tell you where to go eat than where not to go eat. So, and then, just over the years, I was able to write a book about it. I've appeared on television shows. I've done lectures. It's become, and I don't just write about food, but writing about food seems to be what gets me the most attention. So, hey, it's something that I love to do. And it's something that definitely, there's payoffs, and the payoffs are not for me. The payoffs, I think, are more about telling other folks about these restaurants and telling other people about the history behind so much of the food.
Awesome. And then, what experience do you have with the food industry?
Yeah, historically, none. I couldn't cook worth anything, nothing. But my wife, she runs a market in deli. I still don't cook. I wouldn't. No, don't even try to get me near a kitchen, except for quesadillas. I know how to make quesadillas. They're really, really good. I love quesadillas. But other than that, I mean, it's interesting. My wife's had the market in deli now for about 5 years. So I see now with firsthand knowledge how these places run and operate and how hard it is to do that. Before that, none. I never had any family members who had a restaurant. Of course, a lot of good cooks, chefs, a lot of them, but other than that, not really. Just by what I covered, that's how that was the extent of my knowledge for most of my writing career.
And so now we're going to get into the California burrito specifically. So do you think that the California burrito has had a great influence on food culture in Southern California, and how?
Yes, not just Southern California, but across even the American Southwest. It's all because of the birthplace of the California burrito, the Berto's, the Roberto, like in San Diego, the big one's Roberto's Taco Shop, but also Alertos, Alberto's, Albert Tacos, all of those clones in Southern California and also in Nevada. And then in Arizona and New Mexico, you got Filibertos, and Filibertos is related. They all come from one village in Mexico. His name escapes me right now, but it's from the state of San Luis Potosí. But what made them, I mean, they just it was carbon copies of each other, but the star dish at all of these has always been that California burrito, even if it's not in California. In Arizona, they have the California burrito. In New Mexico, wherever these Bertos clones are. So that taught a lot of people about a lowercase new style of Mexican food. Before it was just Taco Bell, you had your regular burrito, your hard shell taco, maybe some combo plates here and there. But with the Roberto's Taco Shop model, you had all these different styles of burritos, and this new dish that no one had ever heard of before called the California burrito.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
What do you think makes the Cali burrito so like appealing to people?
Dude, it's French fries and a burrito. What else do you need? You know, put in some hot sauce. And look, what I love about a California burrito, it's not like, say, the Chipotle burrito, which is humongous. A Cali burrito's big. It is big, but it's not going to be like after you're eating, you're like, oh my God. You'll eat it and you'll be full. And part of you is like, oh, maybe I could do another one. But then you stop yourself because 2 would be way too much, but it's just a perfect size. And really that French fry, it gives it, I think with burritos, a very underrated quality of burritos, and especially with the California burrito, is texture. Too often people think burritos, oh, there's no texture. But like if you put rice with beans and everything's cooked well, and then you have that crunch of like fresh French fries in there, it just puts it onto that other level. Then you put like, say, I mean, I don't like guacamole much, but the guacamole could work. Say some sour cream, some salsa. And what's awesome about the French fries are they absorb all that flavor. So it's like the same flavor, but twice, all in this, you know, just on the outside and then the inside of the French fries. It's delicious.
And what do you think separates a good Cali burrito from one that might be a little bit more average?
Yeah, it's all about the fries, like fresh French fries. So they're crunchy and not soggy. And then, so they're so crunchy, but they're absorbing the flavors, but it's all about that texture. I mean, if it's just soggy French fries, then it's just mashed potatoes. And there's nothing wrong with mashed potatoes in a burrito, but it's not going to be the same, you know. It's almost like I personally, it's not necessarily a Cali burrito, but I personally like hash browns more than I do French fries in a burrito, just because hash browns are going to be even crunchier than French fries when they're done right. Like you almost burn them there, so it just gives that much more texture. But when you have like fresh French fries, that it's crunchy on the outside, a little bit hot, it's just another flavor level. And yeah, if they're soggy, like it's still going to be good because French fries are still good, but it's like it could be so much better, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember your first time trying the Cali burrito?
I do. I gave a speech at San Diego City College must have been 2008, around there. And after I gave my lecture, we went across the street to the small, I think it's called Lola's, maybe Lolita's, I can't remember. It's a small little house, blue, it's a restaurant. And they took me over, they're like, oh, we're going to give you something you probably never tried in Orange County. It's a California burrito. I'm like, what's a California burrito? I've never heard of it before. Like, oh, it's like a burrito with French fries. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know. Like, doesn't really seem authentic to me. But they're like, no, try it. So I ate it. I'm like, oh, wow, this is really good. But then I realized that the California burrito actually was in Orange County at places like Alberto's, El Lurto's, you know, our version of the clones. And there's all sorts of different ones in Orange County. So then I had them like, oh shoot, they've been around, and those restaurants hadn't been around that long, so definitely not as long as, Roberto's in San Diego County. So we're not talking going back to the 70s. We're only talking about the late 90s, early 2000s, but it was good. But that's when I first realized, oh, the California burrito is a San Diego thing. And that actually, you know, going to San Diego sort of gave me the idea, or gave me an idea that I kept in my mind that I, of course, ended up doing in full when I did my 2012 book, Taco USA, How Mexican Food Conquered America.
And how do you think the Mexican and American cultures represented in the creation of this burrito?
The burrito, of course, is a Mexican thing. It's from the border. The American part is not just the French fries, but burritos really became popular in the United States because Americans, I mean, they like tacos, because especially with the history of the burritos don't start becoming popular really until the 1970s. The 60s are starting coming around, but the 1970s, especially in San Diego, especially the 1980s, that's when burritos started becoming popular. So Americans were able to partake in a new style of Mexican food for them and really made burritos the popular thing that they are. Like Mexicans, we eat burritos, but for us, we usually get tacos or enchiladas or other sort of combo plates. The burritos are sort of like my parents growing up in Mexico, they didn't eat burritos. They wouldn't eat burritos until we were born. So 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is great.
Yeah, cool.
Learned a lot. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, same to you guys. Best of luck to your paper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
take care.